based on our expectations, I would say the outcomes are quite extraordinary. The fact that you were able to achieve the kind of political support that we witnessed from the mayor and from the other government officials that were present, that's quite extraordinary. In terms of the practical outcomes, the last exercise we did was very good because in a way it got people focused on a specific tangible set of deliverables that could actually be built into real projects. So from that standpoint, that was very, very valuable. One of the things that could have been done in terms of creating a real action plan was to have taken the results of all those projects and summarize. Maybe this is something you're planning to do in terms of summarizing the outcomes and putting together a master plan of sorts based on the summary and the conclusions of all the groups that came up with those ideas. So from that standpoint, I think it was very positive. You had some great ideas that came out. Many of them were similar, of course, in creating a center and to have some projects that would actually be tangible. This is very valuable. Now the work begins at the end of these, and this is what we found in many of these seminars and workshops and forums is sometimes you go to them and then not much happens. Hopefully from this perspective there will be a lot of follow-up and activities that will build on what was achieved during this particular period. What I had recommended as input was the following: to start with a vision that was broad and large enough that would encompass truly a 5 or 10 or 10 plus year perspective, building a platform on which you could entice public sector, private sector support, public-private sector partnerships, and from that platform create a committee or a wisdom council that would then create a global commons of sorts, a new structure, a new legal structure that would permit you to then, from that platform, create focused pilot projects. So you could start such a project with the Dayan experience, but with the goal of being truly international, so that you could actually share your experiences with others. You could create scientific communities, academic communities, experts in industry, new technologies, and especially using the internet and computing technologies to create an open access platform that would allow all participants across the globe to access this information, to publish results, and to benefit from the results that came from such a platform. So in fact, the suggestion would be to ensure that the vision is big enough, but yet to come back, so top down, start with a huge vision and come down to something that's very practical, very realizable, but yet covers all domains, not just earthquakes, not just mudslides, but an entire palette of potential disasters, because frankly it's not just limited there. We could have economic disasters, which could be quite formidable. You can have social disasters, as we've seen in the Arab Spring with revolutions and so forth, which is challenging. You have to deal with the potential issues that might come up. So these kinds of subjects should be included in multiple cross-disciplinary, interdisciplinary domains of society, and then build those in to a center that would be able to go beyond a small pilot and then replicate across the world, create a grid, if you might say, or a network of centers across the planet, with the first center here serving as the example, the pilot, for future centers. And have a platform, but make it open, make it connected, have it include multiple stakeholders, and allow it the freedom to invent and innovate going forward.